Kollosos and Tripwire. Are they overpowered? Let's find out. So, let's start off with Tripwire. Tripwire has 3 abilities. Brighter Day, which is the laser beam. Reach Out, which grabs 3 survivors. And the mines, which she has 10 of them. Now, let's quickly go over the mines real quick. Almost every survivor has a way to get around the mines or disarm the mines. Eggman can disarm the mines with his shield. Blade can disarm them with her spear. Silver can disarm them with his rocks. Sonic and Metal Sonic, with their abilities, can jump over the mines, because obviously they don't have ways to disarm them. But if, like for example, Tripwire has placed a row of landmines on the ring or the door, you can just use one of your abilities and jump over. Then there is Knuckles. Knuckles doesn't really have it. Well, no, there's kind of one. If there's a wall nearby, Knuckles can jump on the wall and then glide it over the mine. Or you can just use Punch and then take a little bit of damage. Then there's Tails. Tails can glide over them, though I wouldn't really do that since like I don't see like the point in that. So I guess Tails is one of the characters I can't. Amy can no longer throw her hammer, so she would have to be forced to use her hammer bounce, which doesn't really work half the time because it's a pretty bad move. And then there's Cream. She's the best counter to these mines actually out of all the characters. Last second of the mine exploding, if you do a perfectly timed dash, you can avoid the stun completely. Very funny. Even if you get hit, you can just heal the damage off. Now let's get to the laser beam. The laser beam is it's something. It does quite a bit of damage, but there's a pretty easy way to counter it, and that's don't stand in an open area. If you stand near walls and stuff, and Tripwire tries to use the laser beam, you can just kind of hide behind the wall and then loop the wall, because Tripwire is slower, and the only thing Tripwire has that can make her faster is the glide that she has whenever she double jumps. But I've done it multiple times. You can just loop around the wall, and even if that happens, you'll just get nicked one time, which does a bit of damage. I don't actually think it does 25 damage, because I've nicked people with it before and it didn't do 25 damage. It did like a tiny bit. But and then the reach out. Now obviously, again, sitting around corners, don't being in open areas, it's pretty easy to avoid the move though. If you're in an open area and Tripwire glides right above you, there's nothing you can do other than preemptively stun Tripwire before they use the ability. Once they use the ability, well, you have to take the damage. Either that or someone on your team takes the damage for you. That's one of the parts that kind of suck going against Tripwire. But here's the thing. Tripwire does low damage, has a good combo, but does low damage. So if Tripwire doesn't get the combo damage off, what will happen most of the time is Cream, the one that can disarm all the mines with a 10-12 second cooldown on a dash, will heal all the damage up. Obviously, if you step on a mine and they use Brighter Day, you're gonna die, so that's kind of your fault for that. But yeah, there's not really when you do that, there's not really much Tripwire can do. Obviously, good Tripwires can still do things against that, which is placing mines in areas, and then you find the mine and you get hit by the mine. But if you just understand that Tripwire is going to be placing mines around, and you be cautious and careful, the mines aren't too bad. Once you learn that playstyle against Tripwire, she becomes easier and easier to deal with. And I've had Tripwire players, good Tripwire players, killed nobody because I just played Cream and I just healed everyone's damage. And Cream, they couldn't go after me because my team supported me, so I just couldn't die. But overall, I think once you understand how Tripwire fully works, I think Tripwire is a really weak character. And I don't think they need buffs, not at all. Tripwire doesn't need buffs. Obviously, they probably still need nerfs for the players that are better, but some of the counters, such as Cream's dash, probably shouldn't exist, because that's just ridiculous that Cream's dash can fully stop mines, which is very weird. Ooh, Kollosos. Okay, Kollosos has 4 moves. He has his charge, which does 51 damage. Then he has his grab, which does like 36 damage. And both those moves do knockback. Then he has his block, which does 0 damage, but knocks them on the ground long enough for you to get a hit or use another move. And then he has his indicator. His block is completely fair. His indicator, I think it's pretty balanced, because if I'm correct on this, you can hear whenever he uses it, meaning you know that he can't use any of his moves, meaning you can prep for that. And he's slower, so you can just get away from him. Now, his charge, now that I've seen it quite a few times, I don't think it's that crazy. Yes, it can pick several survivors up, so people that aren't paying attention are going to get destroyed by this. But if you're paying attention, you know how to avoid this. Yeah, it's not that good of a move to use. Mainly more of like a combo move, or if you're in a flat area. But basically every survivor has a way to deal with this. Sonic and Metal Sonic, once again, they use a move that gives them iframes. So Sonic uses drop dash, Metal Sonic uses the charge, and well, he should use the charger just as Kollosos does as well, just because if you do it like preemptively before, it's not, he'll grab you and you'll take so much damage. Obviously Eggman and Knuckles, they can use their counters to block it, but Knuckles can get countered by that actually if the Kollosos is good, by just doing a little quick turnaround. So it's like, it's mind games, but Eggman's kind of fine when that happens. Silver can just grab the EXE and then wait a bit and then throw him. Blaze can use the flamethrower or use the kick to get to high ground, which the high ground doesn't work as well, but the flamethrower works very well. It stops the entire charge as long as you have, I think, about 50, depending on whenever he starts the charge. Cream, if she sits right next to a wall and then heals, you can probably get the Kollosos to charge into a wall. It's not guaranteed, but maybe. Amy has one way to stop it, and it's really hard to do. If you throw the hammer right at Kollosos and hit Kollosos while he's charging, it will act as a wall, because if you throw it at a survivor, if you remember this in 0.1, it would bounce off the survivor. This works the same with killers, so yeah, it works against Kollosos and forces him to stop the charge. Really hard to land though, because, you know, everything's really hard to do with Amy. And then Tails, you just glide away, but that doesn't work a lot of the times. Now, the final move that we gotta talk about is his grab. This is the only move in the game that I actually think might need a nerf, only because right after the grab is finished, you can throw them into a corner and then hit him for 50 damage, doing about 86 damage, which is a lot of damage. For charge, that doesn't happen. Once the charge ends and you hit someone, you only do 15 damage for your end one, so you can't do a one-shot combo. Now I get it, Kollosos does high damage, but that is way too much damage. If it did the 15, it would do like 50 something damage. That's okay, because then any other hit afterwards would kill someone. That's fine. And a crane can still get the HP back. That'd be perfectly balanced, but that just does way too much damage. Now, I don't mind the fact that it can ignore the shields, such as Knuckles' counter and A-Man's block. I don't necessarily care too much about that. I've had it happen to me. I think it's kind of funny when it happens, but I still think it's ridiculous about how much damage it does. The only way to avoid it is with iframe moves such as Sonic's drop dash and Metal Sonic's dash. Just anything with iframes. Oh, and Knuckles' punch. That's another way to avoid it, but you gotta time it perfectly. Overall, I think Tripwire, when you understand how the killer works, is a pretty balanced killer. Obviously, there's still like those really powerful insta-kill combos, which they'll probably work around eventually, but most of Tripwire's kit's pretty fun in my eyes. Kollosos, on the other hand, he might need a little bit of toning down depending on that one combo that does 86 damage, but other than that, he might seem pretty good too, since he has a lot of counters as well. But overall, that's just my experience. I know like you guys might have like different experiences with different killers, right? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope some of these tips helped you out. See ya.